I'm Elle, and I have had so much pumpkin spice already.
And I am the Professor, the Sussman, Rick Sussman, and you are watching the Read Pile.
It's the week of October 1st! Yay! And here's some comic book news you can use. Professor?
Yes, thank you. So there was some kerfluffle on the interwebs.
Oh my.
Yes.
Oh my. Language.
On the interwebs this week. I suppose it bears speaking of.
Okay.
So DC released a shirt, a ladies' shirt.
Ooh.
That was just a purple with like yellow print, and it said, "I'm training to be Batman's wife." Kerfuffle happened. Student.
I'm gonna say something. It's gonna blow your mind. Careful.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were not trying to start a gender war.
Well, it did not get well received. I don't see the problem, but I can understand there being a problem. I don't think they intended for anyone to get offended by that. But on the same token, we don't really live in a world anymore where women, aspire to just be somebody's wife and that's the end of it. Yeah. So I can sort of see that being an issue. I wonder if, maybe they put the Catwoman logo on it, if that would have been such a big deal. But
I think people are just putting way too much thought into this.
People get bent out of shape these days, it's true.
There's not a huge group of people offended by something, and what's the point of doing anything?
The internet is good for such things. Let's stay in the DC world, in the Gotham universe.
Oh.
Gotham Academy, Gotham edition. So, Gotham episode 2 happened.
Okay.
I watched it. I really loved it. I actually tweeted out that they have really done a fine job with episode 2 and that I am now a fan of the show. I really look forward to it. I felt it was a massive jump forward from the first episode, and I think that as the show continues, we are looking more at a cop drama featuring Gothamites than we are at, hey, check it out, it's Batman, hey, check it out, it's Catwoman, hey, check it. It was very, although the whole episode was about the doll maker, but still, it was reasonable. It was reasonable. Student. I can't find my pocket.
Okay. I wanted to be really negative, but then he just said doll maker. I don't know what to say now.
It's a good episode.
I'm already trying to be negative because I'm like, okay, yeah, he said doll maker. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna really mess this up.
Shall we?
My expectations are like, woo! Now I will watch it. I was getting this whole spiel about how I'm not gonna bother watching it. I don't want to watch it.
Cuts, boots and cuts and comic book reviews.
Okay, we'll talk about this next week.
Hey! Continual dialogue! Let's review some comics.
Comic book reviews. Alright, control yourself. I have 4. Yup, that's right. 4 to talk about. Alright. Pretty obvious. Wonder Woman. So, we are picking back up on our story with the Firstborn. We're just diving right back in. Love it. It's getting nutty. And it's starting to pick up quick. We're starting to see a lot of, results, what we gotta do. Wonder Woman's starting to figure things out. It is pretty insane. And they know exactly what they need to do with Zeke. And right as they're getting there, oh my god, of course, something else happens. Every time. There is a reason. It is issue 34, and we're still dealing with this. Oh my god. It's wonderful, it's fantastic, and I want it to keep dragging on. I don't want this story to end. But I know that there is going to be something just as wonderful to pick up afterwards. I understand. Can't go on forever, but I will continue to read as long as I have to. Also, another favorite. Alex and Ada! Awesome issue. Pretty depressing. Very depressing. But that's how it is with this life that they have. You know, and Ada she's trying to figure out who she is. Now that she is awakened and she is feeling and she feels like a real person, she's got all that confusion, and it's putting so much strain between these two. It's just so saddening, and there's some parts in the issue that you just feel so badly for her. But you gotta read it. It's just, it's a tough issue. Rat Queens. Wonderful. I was a little confused. We were reading it. We were reading this whole story about Violet. Very interesting though. Love it. I want to know more about these characters. I want to know their background. I want to know all this stuff.
Shave your beard, woman.
I try. Anyway. It was wonderful. It was perfectly written. As always. You can't not write this perfectly. It's just awesome. And then you get to the very end. Oh my god. It was just as bad as how Wonder Woman was at the end. You gotta read it and find out. You will completely understand. You're reading the whole issue and you're like, but you get to the end and you know it was worth it. But I was a little surprised myself. I didn't think this was gonna be it. Grayson! Pick of the week. No, really. It really is. I had to say it to myself in the mirror. Yeah, it's true. Because, to be honest, first two issues, I was finding positive things to say. I wanted to keep reading this issue. I know why I kept reading. I know exactly why. And it's not Grayson anymore. Yeah, it's called Grayson, but it's Dick. It is him. It is. You can tell he misses the old ways. It's bursting at the seams, and there are certain pages. You gotta read it to know exactly what I'm talking about. And he refers to things, and you can tell this is not Grayson. I'm calling it now. I don't think this is going to last long because he's not Grayson. He's not Grayson. That's not him anymore. You gotta read it. Perfect. But you know, let's, I guess, check out Rick.
Thank you, Elle. I'm sorry you didn't refer to me by my proper title, the Professor of Comics, of Nerditry. Yes. Professor of Where was I? So, let's get to some reviews. We had a lot this week, and we're going to start with the book that's been giving me the most problems ever. Edge of Spiderverse, issue Quattro. So I don't know if this was good or not. Last week's Edge of Spiderverse was horrendous. So much so that I actually said that it was my pass of the week. That I bought a book that I didn't want, and now I didn't. So, here's to you, loyal viewers. I am going to give you the digital copy of this book, something we never do on the read pile, but I'll probably start doing, because I need to know whether or not you thought this was a good issue. because I don't know if it was a good issue. So, I'm going to ruin this book by taking off the digital code thingy and reading it to you as follows. NTM 1GWL SYRJS. That's NTM 1GWLSYRJS. So put that right back into the book. Put that right back on top. And now the comic is worthless. But it might have been worthless anyway. I don't know if I liked this or not. I think I did. I was pretty sure I did. But there you go. Check it out and get back to me. That's your homework. Let's move on to books that I know I liked, that I thought were awesome. We're going to talk about Uber. Issue 18 specifically. This was a really, really good, Divergent issue. In the last couple of issues of Uber, and I even tweeted Karen Gillan and said this, I felt like he was getting soft. I think I talked about it the last time I reviewed an Uber, where it looked like the allies were actually starting to, rally together, and maybe the war was coming to an end, or, something. So, never mind. Forget it. Forget I said anything. In this issue, it's all about the development of the atomic bomb, or lack thereof, and why there is a lack thereof. Really awesome issue. Really awesome Uber powers on display, on how some of the Ubermensch are, chameleon mensch, I guess. I don't know. Really, really, really awesome. Plus, as Gillen does in the back of the book, there is some phenomenal, extra stuff back there that you can read about how he learned all the cool things that he learned about in the issue, and how he relies on John Hickman's Manhattan Projects and actually promotes it, which I think is cool, because Manhattan Projects, which is another good book, is actually an Image book, and this is an Avatar book. So, cross-company pollination. Next up, our continuing one-shot series, Moon Knight. Okay, so I like Brian Wood. I like the art. I like everything about this book. But last issue, I thought we were starting, a progression. I guess not. I guess it's just going to be more one-shot stories, which is fine. I mean, they're good. But I was really hoping that with the new writer, with Ellis off the book, we were going to start going in a different direction and actually, having, a storyline. But I suppose that was not to be. Very interestingly well done book. It's shot from, from a cell phone point of view. Each panel is set up differently. It's very, very cool, very nifty storytelling. But ultimately just sort of okay, well, we're done here. Which brings us to our Zoom pick of the week. Like it was going to be a hard one to figure out. It is Gotham Academy #1. Why did I like this book so much? Well, let me think. Oh, right, because it was so new and different and interesting, and this is kind of cool. It's a book that's set in Gotham, but it doesn't really have anything to do with all the crazy ridiculousness of the asylum, and there's no mutants and monsters running. Well, there might be, but there's no mutant monsters running around in the first issue. It's just about these two girls, and they're off, and they're at boarding school, and they're just trying to learn to sort of live in their own skin, and Bruce is there, and that's kind of cool too. But more importantly, it's so different. It's so interesting because it isn't the run-of-the-mill every other Batman book that you're already reading. It's really kind of cool. I dug it a lot. It's my pick of the week, and I hope you check it out. And that's my read pile. So you have your homework. Make sure you get back to me, or I'll mark you off a demerit.
That's the read pile for this week, Professor. What are you thinking?
I don't. Can we just refer to me as the Professor of Nerditude from now on? Can we just do that? In my fortress of nerditude. Can this be my parlor, my study of nerditude?
No.
Alright.
Your ego will get way too big, and I can't deal with that.
Reasonable. So, this week, we want to thank specifically, hang on, I'm going to wait for the little logo to pop up. Should be here right now. Our friends at Barbershop Window. Make sure to follow them on Twitter and check them out. They are our one constant. And of course, we want to thank our fellows at Nerd Up Media. Reasons That I'm Broke, Lazy Gaming Guys, of course, our other podcasts. You do the Bacon Blog, and I'm on those two jerks. But I want to thank the Reasons That I'm Broke and Lazy Gaming Guys because they did the Mythicon report last week, and it looked awesome, and I was very impressed with their journalistic integrities. I don't have a logo for this. I don't even have to put
Do they get an A plus, Professor?
Oh, they get passing marks for sure. I really gotta get out of this. So,
yeah.
for the Angry Nerd Girl L, I am your professor, the Sussman, Rick Sussman. Thank you for tuning in this week, kids. We'll see you all next week. Maybe L will even watch Gotham. It'll be interesting.
I might. I will. I can't. I don't know if it's gonna be positive.
She's the best. Thanks, guys.